My dear child, hear these words, not as passing echoes, but as a sacred whisper, spoken into the depths of your being. You are not forgotten, you are not overlooked, you are not invisible in the vastness of existence. You have been seen, known, and held from the very beginning, long before your first breath mingled with the winds of time. I speak to you now with clarity, born not of this world, but from a realm that transcends it, where truth flows like light, and love does not falter. You've questioned your purpose, wondered if you matter, and silently begged for some sign that your presence here is not by accident. This is that sign. These words are your confirmation. I have written your essence into the fabric of eternity, not in ink, but in living light that never fades. You've tried to find your place in broken systems and fragile spaces, searching for value in the approval of others, in the rise and fall of fleeting accomplishments. But child, your true worth has never been defined by earthly scales. While others may have dismissed you, I engraved you into a place no one can touch or erase. You are woven into my design, a design too deep to be disrupted, too sacred to be undone. You've walked through moments of joy, yes, but also corridors shadowed by betrayal, exhaustion, and bitter confusion. You've whispered prayers through clenched teeth, holding back tears while wearing a brave face. I heard those cries, even the ones you buried. I caught the ones you didn't dare say aloud. I stood beside you in every moment you felt abandoned, screaming silently, "Can anyone see me?" I did. I always did. Know this, your identity is not tethered to your flaws, your failures, or the chaos you've endured. It is anchored in something far greater. Before your name was spoken on human lips, it was whispered in the divine. It was etched into eternity with purpose, precision, and profound love. No storm can undo it, no rejection can reduce it, no shame can stain it. You may feel small in the world's eyes, just another soul trying to survive. But to me, you are singular, precious. I crafted you with intention. Every strength, every scar, every strange longing in your heart points toward something real. You have not lost your way. You are in the middle of becoming. You are unfolding, not unraveling. This is the sacred process. Do not rush it. Do not despise the pauses, the detours, or the long silences. They are not delays, they are design. Even now, I am working in the unseen, shifting pieces you cannot comprehend, softening hearts that seemed closed, healing wounds you believed were beyond repair. Your prayers are not forgotten petitions, gathering dust in silence. They are alive, echoing in places beyond your reach, stirring waters you have not yet walked upon. Every time you dared to hope again, despite disappointment, I smiled. That is courage. That is faith. That is love in motion. Do not underestimate the power of your quiet resilience. When others expected you to collapse, you stood. When you could have chosen bitterness, you chose to believe. That is not weakness. It is divine strength flowing through human fragility, and it moves mountains, even if you haven't seen them fall yet. I know you carry the weight of memories, regrets that twist like thorns, but I'm not keeping a tally of your failures. I am writing a redemption story, one in which every broken moment is gathered, refined, and transformed into something luminous. You are not your past, you are the light rising from it. And this light, your light, is needed now more than ever. Forgive yourself, not because you deserve it, but because I already have. Stop replaying what you cannot change. Release it and make room for the new that longs to emerge. Your freedom lies not in perfection, but in the surrender that says, even this can be redeemed. And I assure you, it can. The world may try to convince you that you must be loud to be worthy, fast to be valuable, flawless to be loved. Do not believe this noise. Some of the greatest revolutions begin in stillness, in the quiet decision to rise one more time, to love when it's hard, to stay soft when life begs you to harden. That is sacred rebellion. That is divine resistance. Let go of the anger that keeps you chained to what wounded you. Let go of the bitterness that poisons your peace. Let go of the fear that disguises itself as caution. I know the pain was real. I was there for every betrayal, every broken promise, every disappointment that left you breathless. But healing is not forgetting. It's remembering differently. It's walking forward without dragging the past behind you like a shadow. You are not alone in this. Even when the path feels empty, my presence goes before you like fire in the dark. I will not leave you to fend for yourself. I am not far away. I am not silent. I am not passive. I am near, closer than your pulse, closer than your breath. I am the stillness between your thoughts, the whisper in your chaos, the grounding when the world spins too fast. And when joy does return, and it will, I will be there laughing beside you as surely as I wept with you. When the breakthrough comes, and it will, I will celebrate it as if it were my own, because you are my own. When the burden lifts, you'll remember this moment and know you were never abandoned. You were never forgotten. You were being prepared. You were being strengthened. You were being shaped into someone who could carry light even in the thickest night. So rise again, not because it is easy, but because it is sacred. Speak again, not because your voice is always steady, but because your truth matters. Love again, not because it is safe, but because it is divine. You are part of a greater story, one that will outlast fear, silence, and even death itself. Hold on to this truth. You are known, you are chosen, you are carried, you are becoming, and that beloved changes everything. Remain steady and never depends on your performance. I have loved you through your darkest nights and celebrated you in your brightest hours. You don't need to earn this love. It isn't a reward for perfection. It is a truth older than time, constant as the stars, deeper than your deepest ache. I have seen you wrestle with disappointment, heard the silent cries when hope felt distant. I've watched you carry responsibilities that felt too heavy, wear a smile when your spirit was tired, and still you kept going. There were moments when anger surged within you, when the world seemed cruel and indifferent. You felt betrayed, unseen, dismissed. In that sacred fire of frustration, I was there, not to scold your rage, but to hold it, to acknowledge its truth, and to carry it with you until it softened into clarity. You were never expected to carry all of this alone. There is sorrow in your story, deep valleys of grief and confusion that others may never fully understand. The pain of being misunderstood, the sting of false judgment, the aching absence when someone you trusted pulled away. But in all of that, I never turned from you, even when you blamed me. I stayed close, not because I needed your approval, but because your heart matters more than any accusation or doubt. Your wounds have not made you weak. They've made you real. You've seen the beauty that rises from brokenness, how light filters through cracks, how tears cleanse the soul when words fail. And though disgust may sometimes rise within you for your own past, for others' cruelty, for the injustice that surrounds you, let that feeling awaken compassion, not bitterness. Let it remind you of how much better the world could be and your place in shaping it. You are not merely surviving. You are unfolding into the person you were always meant to become. There's more to your story. There's healing still to be done, laughter still waiting to rise, peace still reaching towards you like dawn after a long night. Look back, yes, but only to see how far you've come. Look within, because that's where the treasure has always been. And look ahead, because I am already there, preparing the way, shaping what's next with wisdom beyond your understanding. When fear threatens to silence your voice, remember, you are not fragile. You are formed from enduring strength. The world may shift around you. People may change. Their love may come and go. But my presence is not seasonal, not selective. It stays. You are not a forgotten name in the background of a busy world. You are not a mistake in someone else's timeline. You are chosen, not because of what you have done, but because of who you are. You were born with purpose woven into your being, and no storm, no slander, no shame can erase that truth. Let this truth settle deep within you. You are not disqualified by your detours. Even the times you walked away from the sacred connection, even when you pushed back in defiance or numbness. I didn't close the door. I waited, not with disappointment, but with understanding. Even when your own anger clouds your thoughts, anger at the unfairness of life, the losses that make no sense, the silence that seems deafening, I am still here, steady. Your emotions don't scare me. They're part of you, and you are part of me. Let go of the lie that your worth is based on what you produce, who accepts you, or how much you've achieved. Your worth was settled long ago. It does not rise and fall with others' approval or the day's results. You are enough now, in this moment, exactly as you are. Surprise yourself with how much grace you can offer to your own soul, how you can pause even when everything feels urgent, how you can breathe deeply and choose not to rush healing. There is no race. This is not a competition. This is a sacred unfolding. Let the joy return. Not the hollow kind that hides pain, but the genuine joy that dances alongside sorrow, because both are part of a full life. You've seen how a single kind word can lift a spirit. Be that voice for yourself. Speak life into your own weary bones. And in those moments when you feel surrounded by emptiness, when the crowd disappears, when the applause stops, when the masks fall away, know that I remain. I am not impressed by performance. I am moved by presence, your honesty, your vulnerability, your willingness to begin again. This path was never meant to be walked without pain, but it was always meant to be walked with purpose. Even the detours, even the disappointments, even the doubts, they've brought you here, closer, deeper, wiser. Do not let bitterness grow roots in your soul. Uproot the weeds of resentment and make room for something better. Forgiveness, not because others deserve it, but because you deserve freedom. Let go, not to forget, but to make space for your peace to return. And yes, you will still fall. You will still feel lost some days. That doesn't disqualify you. That makes you human. But with each fall, I'll be there, holding out my hand, not with judgment, but with grace, to rise again, stronger each time, kinder each time, more whole. This is the truth that runs beneath your entire life. You are never beyond reach, never too far gone, never too broken to be restored. You are the work of divine intention, and I will finish what I began in you. So when the world feels cold and indifferent, and you wonder if your existence really matters, hear me clearly, it does. You do, and not just to me, but to every life you've touched, every soul you've comforted, every moment you've chosen love over fear. I see the quiet courage in your smallest steps. I see the resistance to give up even when it would be easier. I see the grace you extend to others even when you don't feel strong. That is sacred. That is powerful. You are not here by accident. You are here because the world needs what only you can give. Your presence is part of a divine equation, and the story is still unfolding. Keep going, keep trusting, keep breathing, because I am here always, offering more than comfort, offering transformation, a deeper identity, a truer belonging, and a love that does not end. Even when your voice feels lost in the noise of the world, know that I am still listening. My presence doesn't depend on your perfection. It doesn't fade when you drift or disappear when you doubt. I remain, quietly urging you back to what is true and unshakable. The silence you once feared wasn't abandonment. It was space. Space for you to discover, to wrestle, to understand what matters. It was the stillness before renewal. You may wonder why I allowed certain pains, why some doors remained closed. But I see what you cannot. I know what those closed paths protected you from. Heartbreaks you didn't need, battles you weren't meant to fight, distractions that would have led you away from your purpose. You have been spared more than you realize. And though some lessons came through struggle, they shaped a strength within you that will never be taken. I see your effort. I see how hard you try, even when no one acknowledges it. I recognize the quiet sacrifices, the nights you held yourself together while your heart was unraveling. I see the times you chose kindness when anger burned hot. I see the times you stayed silent instead of lashing out. the moments you pushed forward when you had every reason to give up. And I say this to you clearly, none of that has gone unnoticed, not by me. Each moment of faith, every choice to love, every instance where you chose hope over despair, it all matters. It's all part of the unfolding story I've written with you. A story not built on achievement alone, but on transformation, on the slow and sacred work of becoming. There is nothing small about the quiet good you do. There is nothing wasted in your waiting. Even when your progress feels invisible, even when others overlook it, I am watching it grow. I am nurturing it. You may not feel like a force, but inside you is a fire that refuses to go out. That fire is not random, it is mine, placed within you to endure, to light the way not only for yourself, but for others stumbling in the dark. You have not been forgotten, not for a single moment. I have carried your name in my thoughts, through every disappointment, through every painful goodbye, through every hope that seemed to vanish. You are part of a greater vision, and that vision is healing, redemption, and deep lasting joy. But I will not force this on you. I wait for your yes. I wait for your return, not with anger, not with judgment, but with anticipation. I long to walk beside you as we build something enduring together. The invitation remains open. Will you step into what's been waiting for you? If your heart feels tired, if your soul aches for more than what this world offers, then you already know there's something sacred calling to you. That is not coincidence. That restlessness, that longing is a sign. It's your spirit remembering its origin, remembering me. Don't settle for shallow victories that fade overnight. Don't trade away your peace for validation that leaves you emptier each time. I want to give you more than what glitters. I want to give you what endures. I want you to have peace that doesn't depend on approval, love that doesn't abandon you, and joy that survives every storm. But this will require trust. It will require you to release the fear that holds your grip so tightly on what you think you must control. Let go. Let go of the old stories that said you are not enough. Let go of the voices that insisted you had to earn love. Let go of the past that tries to haunt your future. That history no longer defines you. I do, and I call you cherished. You don't have to perform for me. You don't have to impress. Just come as you are, raw and real. I can work with broken, I can heal shattered, I can turn pain into purpose. There is nothing in you I find unworthy, nothing I cannot use for good. Let this truth settle in your bones. You are safe with me. Even when others let you down, even when circumstances collapse, even when hope seems to vanish into silence, I remain, not distant, not cold. I remain as a constant presence, working for your good, in ways that often unfold slowly, subtly, but surely. When you cry and no one notices, I do. When your strength runs out, I lend mine. When you're misunderstood, I understand you are never unseen here. Take a moment now. Breathe. Let yourself be still. Listen beyond the noise. You don't have to strive in this space. You are already welcomed, already accepted, already loved. I am not in a rush. I am patient because I know the beauty that takes root in slow, honest surrender. There is no shame in starting over, no shame in reaching out again, no shame in asking for help when you're weary. The strongest people are not those who never fall. They are the ones who rise again and again, with my hand in theirs. You were created for something greater than fear, greater than shame, greater than what you've been told you are. Do not shrink to fit the expectations of those who cannot see your worth. You were not made to blend in. You were made to stand in truth, even when it costs you approval, especially then. Because I am building something in you that cannot be shaken. So walk forward, not in arrogance, but in quiet confidence, knowing you are held, known, and guided. Let your steps reflect the truth that you are not walking alone. And when the world tries to define you by your past, by your mistakes, or by your struggles, let them speak, and then let them watch as I raise you in ways they never expected. There will be restoration. There will be surprises. There will be moments when joy finds you again in the unlikeliest of places. I will return what was lost, I will redeem what was broken, and I will multiply the good in your life, in ways that silence the lies that ever told you it was too late. You are right on time. Trust that, and trust me. Let every pain that brought you here now serve a higher purpose. Let every setback become part of your testimony. Let every wound become a doorway for grace to enter. You are becoming someone remarkable, and it is not in spite of what you've been through. It is because of it. You were made for light, for love, for a future that reflects the truth of who you are. Fully known, deeply loved, and never ever abandoned, to rise again, no matter how many times you've stumbled. You are not defined by the moments of weakness others have seen, or the mistakes they secretly use to measure your worth. I see beyond what they see. I know your heart, your capacity to grow, to rebuild, to rise stronger than before. While some may smirk at your setbacks, I celebrate your resilience. They may point at your scars as evidence of failure, but I see them as proof of survival. The path you walk is not easy, and I never claimed it would be, but it is purposeful, and your presence on it matters more than you know. So when the whispers of doubt return, when the shadows stretch long, and the loneliness feels unbearable, remember there is light that never fades, even if it seems hidden for a time. That light burns within you, ignited not by applause or achievement, but by your quiet perseverance. Your willingness to keep moving forward despite the odds. Your story is not over. You are still unfolding, still becoming. Every setback you faced was not an end, but a preparation for the strength you'll need in the next chapter. I am shaping you, not punishing you. I am refining your spirit, not rejecting it. And the discomfort you feel now, the ache, the stretching, the pressure, these are signs that something new is being birthed within you. So let the tears fall if they must. Let the sorrow speak, but do not let it stay. Do not build a home in your pain. Let it pass through. Let it teach, and then let it go. You were not made to carry despair as a permanent weight. You were made for restoration. There is a love watching over you that does not sleep, a care that doesn't waver when you fall short. It sees you not as broken, but as beloved, even in your mess, even in your confusion. I have always known you would make mistakes. I counted the cost before you took your first breath, and I decided you were worth it. And now I ask you, will you begin again with me? Will you let go of what others have labeled you, and embrace what I call you? Worthy, chosen, cherished, capable. There is still time. There is still hope. Let go of the bitterness that clings to the corners of your heart, the disappointment you've hidden behind polite smiles and forced strength. Release the weight of resentment you've carried far too long. It only delays your healing. You were meant for peace. You were designed for joy. And those things are not reserved for the perfect or the popular. They are offered to the willing, the open, the brave enough to say, I am ready to begin again. You may not see it now, but you are standing at the edge of something beautiful. There are opportunities being prepared for you. Relationships, healing, provisions, purpose that align perfectly with your true self. And when they arrive, you will not have to force them, chase them, or beg for them. Brad, they will feel like coming home. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned, even in silence. I have been working behind the curtain of your understanding, beyond the limits of what you can see. I have been rearranging things for your good, removing what would have harmed you, preserving what will build you, and planting seeds that will soon rise in joy. All I ask is that you don't give up before the fruit appears. Stay the course. Keep your heart open. Guard it from those who aim to harden it. And be honest with me. Share your fears, your regrets, your anger if you must. I can take it. I'd rather have your honest pain than your silent distance. There is no shame in struggling. There is only danger in pretending you don't need support. So let go. Trust again. Not because everything is easy, but because you're no longer walking alone. Even now, I see the storm inside you beginning to calm. I feel your breath steadying, your spirit responding, your heart leaning toward trust. Let that be enough for today. You don't have to fix everything at once. You only have to choose not to give up. And when the world is loud, when the chaos tries to drown out this message, return here. Revisit this moment. Reclaim this truth. You are not too far gone. You are not too broken. You are not disqualified. You are being called back into wholeness, not with force, but with love. You are being reminded of your place, not as someone barely surviving, but as someone deeply supported. So take one step today, just one. Open your hands. Lift your eyes. Speak the truth you've been afraid to say. You are not alone. You never were. You are more capable than you realize, more resilient than the storms that have battered your spirit, and more precious than the doubts that try to dim your light. This inner power, though sometimes hidden beneath layers of pain and fear, is always present, waiting patiently for you to recognize it and embrace it fully. There will be moments when shadows creep in, whispering words of despair, attempting to convince you that the struggle is endless, that your efforts are futile, and that surrender might be the easier path. But resist these voices with the fierce determination that burns quietly within your heart. Let your anger at injustice, your disgust for despair, and even your fear fuel your resolve, not to give in, but to rise beyond these trials with grace and courage. Joy will return, often unexpectedly. Like a soft breeze after a harsh winter, it may appear in the smile of a stranger, the warmth of the sun on your face, or the quiet comfort of a moment's peace. Treasure these sparks of light, for they are reminders that happiness is not a distant dream, but a present reality waiting to be rediscovered. Surprise yourself by acknowledging these small blessings, letting gratitude wash over you and replenish your soul. Yet sadness is not your enemy. It is a teacher that invites you to look deeper, to feel fully, and to understand the depths of your own humanity. Allow tears to flow freely, not as signs of weakness, but as sacred expressions of release and healing. Let them cleanse your weary heart and prepare you to receive the love and support that surround you, even when you cannot immediately see them. Contempt for the falsehoods that try to convince you of your unworthiness can become a shield, one that protects you from self-doubt and the poisonous words of others. Stand tall against these attacks, knowing that they do not define you. Your worth is intrinsic, unshakable, and recognized by the unseen presence that has walked beside you through every hardship. Fear is natural, but it need not control you. Feel it, acknowledge it, and then gently set it aside as you move forward, step by step. Every time you face what frightens you and take one more step, you reclaim your power and redefine your story. Your courage is not the absence of fear, but the decision to act despite it. There will be days when disgust at your circumstances or the actions of others threatens to overwhelm your spirit. Use this feeling as a call to action, a refusal to accept anything less than the dignity and respect you deserve. Let it sharpen your desire for justice, healing, and transformation, not only in your life, but also in the world around you. Remember, none of these emotions exists in isolation. They are intertwined threads woven into the fabric of your experience. Embrace them all with compassion and understanding, for each contributes to the richness and depth of your personal journey. As you continue, be mindful that support does not always come in grand gestures. Often it arrives in quiet moments, a reassuring thought, a small act of kindness, or the gentle voice within that reminds you to breathe and to trust. These are the anchors that hold you steady when the seas of life grow turbulent. You are never abandoned, even in the darkest hours, when the weight of loneliness feels unbearable. Know that you are wrapped in a presence that neither slumbers nor fades. This care reaches into the depths of your soul, offering healing, hope, and a future brighter than your present circumstances suggest. You might wonder why suffering persists despite this care. Sometimes pain is a catalyst, a fire that purifies and prepares you for greater growth. It is not punishment or rejection, but part of the mysterious process through which resilience is forged and wisdom is born. Trust that every trial serves a purpose, even when that purpose is not immediately clear. Lean into this trust, even if trembling, even if uncertain. Let it be a steady flame that lights your way through confusion and doubt. Let it remind you that you are walking a path marked by love, intention, and an unbreakable bond with the care that surrounds you. Your life has meaning beyond measure. Your struggles are chapters in a story of triumph that is still being written. Hold fast to the promise that with every fall, you will rise stronger, more compassionate, and more aligned with your true self. Now, as you stand on the brink of tomorrow, breathe deeply and welcome the possibility of renewal. Let the knowledge of unwavering support fill you with peace and anticipation. You are being held, lifted, and guided toward a destiny of fulfillment and joy. May this message settle in your heart as a constant reminder. You are never alone. You are infinitely loved, and every step forward is a victory. May you move with courage, grace, and the unshakable confidence that comes from knowing you are cherished beyond words. Amen.